What is Stoicism? Well, I was listening to Ryan Holiday on the Wisdom from the Top podcast, and he got me interested in the idea of Stoicism. And here is what I learned about Stoic thinking that will help us reach the heights of success, both in business and more importantly, in your personal life. Be humble if you want to learn and succeed. We are all guilty of thinking we know it all, and we'd all learn more if we could set that attitude aside. As smart or successful as we may be, there's always someone who is smarter, more successful, and wiser than we are. The 19th century writer Ralph Waldo Emerson put it well: "Every man I meet is my master in some point, and in that I learn of him." We regularly see this type of thinking in some of the most successful business leaders. They are humble and actively solicit feedback and learn from anybody they meet.
Yeah, the ability to see yourself or your situation with distance, that's like the main thing. And you can imagine that, Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, literally worshipped as a god in his own life, would have struggled with this immensely. In the modern world, it's extraordinarily difficult because we're so much busier, and really brilliant minds, people you've talked to on your podcast a million times, have developed all sorts of very sneaky, very addictive tools and activities to make sure we never have a moment of that downtime to do that kind of reflection.
Find the right people. One of the most tenacious and strategic CEOs today, Amazon's founder Jeff Bezos, says life is too short to hang out with people who aren't resourceful. Consciously consider whom you allow into your life. Ask yourself about the people you meet and spend time with. Are they making me better? Do they encourage me to push forward? Or do they hold me accountable? Or do they drag me down to their level? Now, with this in mind, ask the most important question: should I spend more or less time with these folks? Protect your time. Today, there are endless interruptions in our days. Phone calls, emails, visitors, unexpected events. While we might be good at protecting our physical property, we are far too lax at enforcing our mental boundaries. Property can be regained, but time is our most irreplaceable asset, and we cannot buy more of it. We can only strive to waste as little as possible.
For me, in presence, I think it's a handful of things. It's the elimination of things that don't make you present. So, like what's your relationship with devices? What's your relationship with how you consume information? What do you allow into your life? A big part of it for me is routine. So, if I can be present and disciplined at the beginning of the day when it's easier, then there's less pressure on the rest of the day. And it also makes it easier for me to say, be present with my family or my kids or, taking a walk outside because I'm ahead.
Never get into a habit. Elon Musk said, constantly think about how you could be doing things better and questioning yourself. We should apply the same ruthlessness to our own working habits. Find what you do out of memory or routine and ask yourself, is this really the best way to do it? Know why you do what you do and do it for the right reasons. Keep it simple, do your job. Each day presents the chance to overthink things. What should I wear? Do they like me? Am I eating well enough? What's next for me in life? Is my boss happy with my work? We don't need to get lost in 1,000 other distractions or in other people's business. Marcus Aurelius said to approach each task as if it were your last because it very well could be. And even if it isn't, watching what's right in front of you doesn't help anything. Find clarity in the simplicity of doing your job today. Constantly adapt and learn from failures. It's been said that the definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over again, but expecting a different result. Yet, that's exactly what most people do. They tell themselves that today they won't get angry or overreact, etc. But then don't actually do anything differently. Failure is a part of life we have little choice over. Learning from failures, on the other hand, is optional. We have to choose to learn.
Pick yourself back up when you fail. Try not to lose the rhythm more than you can help it, and sort of do the best that you can. So the routine that I have, that I talk about, it's largely true, and I certainly keep it far more often than I don't keep it. But I fall short all the time. I say in The Obstacle is the Way that all this stuff is simple but not easy. And I think that encapsulates a lot of these ideas.
Live below your means. Warren Buffett, whose net worth is approximately $65 billion, lives in the same house he bought in 1958 for $31,500. Living below your means is a strategy understood by many business leaders. The more things we desire and the more we have to do to earn or maintain those achievements, the less we actually enjoy our lives and the less free we are. For more inspiring wisdom from world leaders, listen to Wisdom from the Top podcast on the Luminary app. And for more such videos, keep watching India Times.